Well, I hope everybody is having a great Friday evening. I hope you're enjoying the March Madness tournament going on. A lot of good basketball, a lot of big upsets. Yeah, that's why they call it March Madness. It's very very hard to predict who's going to win what in March Madness. So you just never know who's going to do what. But I wanted to take a few minutes anyway to talk a little bit about the weather this weekend and maybe even a little bit beyond that. This will be saved to my Facebook page and my YouTube page and wherever else this streams to. So you can always go back and you can watch it. We've been trying to also record a podcast lately, but there's been some audio issues with that. So I haven't been able to really get that up and going yet. But it's coming. I promise you, it'll be here pretty soon, and we'll do some fun stuff with that when we finally do get all the kinks worked out of that. So we just got off of doing our live newscast over on our 24/7 channel, which basically it's like our 24/7 channel is basically the Roku or the Roku app. If you got a Roku TV at home and you put your app on and it runs the recorded newscast, well, that's basically what the 24/7 channel is. Only difference is we make it available to people without smart TVs, and you also have the ability to be able to. We also will be doing some live stuff on there from time to time. So, well, Cameron, I'm glad you like weather. Cameron Lindsay there, chiming in, saying he likes weather. I'm glad you do. I really wanted to try to record our podcast again tonight, but that didn't work out too well. So quickly, let's talk a little bit about what's going on Sunday. There's a big storm system coming in on Sunday, but it's such a progressive weather pattern. We're not really, we really don't see time for us to really juice up. So the limiting factor will be moisture on Sunday. You've got this system that moved through yesterday. We have north winds right now outside. Those north winds down into the Gulf. It's really helping to clean the Gulf out, clean the air out. So you don't see a lot of tropical moisture down there at this time. So that's what you really need to come inland, to surge inland, to go with these storm systems and get bigger severe weather events. And this is not uncommon to see this during the month of March. We don't get usually our bigger severe weather here in the month of March. But this system is pretty strong coming into play on Sunday. It's got a lot of what we call strong kinematics with it, strong dynamics. It means a very strong storm system with really strong jet stream energy, a lot of wind energy with it. So that will probably help compensate, I would think anyway, for the lack of low-level moisture on Sunday, I would think. So if we take a look here, this is the evening run of the HER computer model, the HRRR. You know me, I like the HRRR computer model. I'm going to show you the dew point temperatures first. And the dew point temperature is just a measure of the amount of moisture in the atmosphere. It's like the measure amount of water vapor in the atmosphere. The higher the number, the more water vapor, the stickier it feels outside. So we put this in motion here, and those dew points tomorrow drop down into the 30s and 40s. But then tomorrow night, you can see the moisture. It tries to modify pretty quickly. The models are also indicating a little dry air mixing in on Sunday if this strong wind field. That happens quite often. But as we get late in the day, we do see a really sharp dry line that's situated from southern Kansas, central Kansas, all the way down to southwest Texas. And this is a sharp dry line. You can see dew points running in the mid and upper 50s east of it, to the west of it, 30s, 20s, teens. So you better believe with the wind with this, there's going to be some big fire weather concerns back west on Sunday afternoon. I'm talking about the Texas Panhandle, western parts of Oklahoma, southwest Kansas. It's going to be some big fire weather concern, maybe even some of northwest Texas there too. But with this said, typically speaking, you want to see these dew points running in the 60s. But with a system this strong, you may not necessarily have to have a lot in the way of low-level moisture. You can probably get away. The system is strong enough to where it will probably compensate for that some. If we take a look at what the radar might look like, this would be, there we are on Sunday morning. Maybe some low-level cloudiness. We probably see that break 3 of sunshine by the afternoon, and then late in the afternoon, right there along the dry line, boom, you get some little supercells up into Kansas, all the way down into North Texas, just along or right out ahead of that dry line. These may even be a little further west than what this is showing here. And if we get those storms would most likely be high based, and we determine that. Now that sounding isn't very good right there at all. Matter of fact, that's a crappy looking sounding. Let's see if I can find one that's a little bit better than that. That didn't look good at all. Neither does this one. That's what I'm talking about. You know, this sounding, what you're seeing over here, is what the atmosphere might look like. Now your winds are strong. If you had better low-level moisture, this would be a tornado, a photograph there. But there's some really dry air, really cold air aloft. That's going to steepen your lapse rates, which is going to make for any storms that do form hail producers. But the base layer of your thunderstorm with this lack of moisture is way up there, about 5,000 feet in the atmosphere. So I'm talking about high based. These would definitely be wind and hail producers. Now, if we can somehow or another manage to moisten up a little bit more in the evening, the storm bases might come down a little bit. But as of right now, it looks like most everything we see here will be isolated, high base stuff. I'm trying to see if I can find any other computer models that may have come out. These are some new ones I've been looking at, but they're slower to come out than some of the other ones are. This is the 3K NAM, and it just shows storms struggling to form, kind of more of a line or kind of some little supercells there Sunday afternoon. But again, our main concern here with any of these thunderstorms would be basically some large hailstones and some wind. Now I want to show you this before I go. This is the long-range GFS computer model. Look how active it is. There's two trains of thought with the active weather. You're looking at the jet stream here, by the way. This is the polar vortex. I'd send in some really chilly air north into the northern part of the country this weekend. They're gearing up for some really big snows across the upper Midwest with that, upper plain states. So that spins out. There's our Sunday storm system. You can see the big jet stream dip there. And then here comes another late next week. And then as we head into Easter weekend, that's a big, deep trough, big storm system there. This one might have the opportunity to produce maybe a better chance for severe weather here if that plays out around Easter. So we'll just kind of have to wait and see. But the progressive nature of our weather pattern, and I mean, since we're seeing an active storm track across the south, and it's still early in the season, this is not giving the Gulf of Mexico time enough to really replenish the atmospheric moisture, the low-level tropical moisture needed for severe weather. That's why there's not been a lot of severe weather. There's been one big severe weather event this year, but there's not been a lot of them. And typically with a system like this or a jet stream like this, you get a lot of big storm systems producing big severe weather, but you're not getting them because it's just too progressive. It's too many storm systems early on. Cleaning the Gulf out, it's not allowing it to recharge and fill us up with tropical moisture, so that's good news. So the question is going to be, at some point do we start getting these fronts to stop pushing all the way down into the deep part of the Gulf of Mexico and scouring all the moisture out? Do we get more moisture to start interacting with these big storm systems? At some point it could, and if it does, we could see some big severe weather events across the country with a jet stream like this. But thankfully we're not seeing that yet. But we'll have to keep an eye on it as we head into the month of April, because as it warms up, the sunshine, warm air equals to more evaporation, and it equals to more moisture and build up a dew point. So we'll have to keep an eye on that. So, but as of right now, it doesn't look too bad. Yeah, I'm with you, Eric Blah. I'm with you, Blah. So, check 1 2 1 2. Got people saying they can't hear me. So check 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2. But yeah, I'm not too enthusiastic about severe weather with that either, Eric. And to answer your question, Chad, I don't know. It's hard to say what wind speeds would be. When you get that dry air, oftentimes you can get some pretty good wind gusts with that. So, but anyway, it is my birthday weekend, by the way. The Everybody at the station always makes me feel loved whenever we have my birthday weekend. They always decorate my desk, but they do that for everybody. But they make an older man feel loved. So enjoying the NCAA tournament. There's been some great upsets, and that's why they call it March Madness. Really, 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 difficult to predict who's going to win what in these games. So yeah, maybe a high base rope there in Kansas. If I was, I'm sure that's where you'll be chasing. So if I was going to chase, that's where I'd be, is up there in Kansas. But it just, moisture's a problem. Your winds are great. It's the moisture that's your issue. So, all right. Well, I got to go get ready for the newscast, everybody. So I'm going to jump off here, and one of these days I'll get my podcast up and going. I wonder why some people report no sound, then others hear me fine. Just one person said no sound, but everybody else is fine. Maybe their device is turned down a little bit. I don't know. So I'm thinking so, Cameron. I'm thinking that you're probably be your first solo coverage on Sunday, most likely. I doubt we send the tracker out. So we'll probably just it's my birthday, and I want to probably chill at the house. I got to go to Dallas tomorrow, so I'll be out of the mix tomorrow. So, but anyway, all right, I'm going to jump off here. We got the newscast coming up. Y'all have a great weekend.